What was the best empire to ever exist? No need to answer that. It's obvious, the Holy Roman Empire. Today we're going to bring it back, starting as Austria. But I will show you some tricks using the new mechanics of Victoria 3 for companies, treaties and trade, so that if everything goes right, our HRE will be crazy rich and look truly divine. This entire video is sponsored by Paradox Interactive. Make sure to check out the new DLC for the game Charters of Commerce that I am playing with here, coming out on the 17th of June. And don't miss out on the free-to-play weekend where you can check out the game yourself for free, running from the 19th to the 23rd of June. Have fun with this video and with the game. We're going to go ahead and click this button today. Technically, this is called Central Europe, but you can see it by the flag right here. We will come out as the HRE. Now, where does all of this start? Of course, as always, it starts in your technology tree. And more than ever, what you want to do at the very first start of the game is, of course, this right here. You want to get corporate charters so that you can get a couple of companies going. Ideally, I would also like to secure joint stock companies because, again, this gives me another company. And, well, this is the name of the game. We can become incredibly powerful thanks to our companies. Now, like I said, 1.9 comes with a bunch of new additions, and a part of this are these treaties right here. We got the Holy Alliance, of course, with the two ushers, with Prussia and Russia, and I'm gonna break this one. I think I'm gonna keep the other one, right? The one with Russia. I do like them. But this one, yeah, Prussia kind of sucks, not a big fan. You know what, why don't I just expel your diplomats just because I can? And other than that, we have all of these treaties right here with the Italian minor states. We get trade privileges, you know, into both directions, and we guarantee their independence. This, of course, also binds them towards us, right? Take a look at the leverage right here. These type of deals are something that we want to do a lot with other nations because, well, you're gonna see what we can do with our companies once we get them. Alright, but other than that standard stuff, I think actually that they tuned the population growth. Take a look at this. This is massive in comparison to what you would normally get in pop growth at this point in the game. Let's just ramp this up. I know that we have a very, very small iron production. Before I will transition this into iron production, I'm just gonna, you know, kind of build a couple of iron mines, I think, here. We're gonna do this in, why not northern Transylvania? It's like the only thing that I will ever build there. The Romanians, I'm afraid, will stay pretty poor. Man, I love this game. The Kaiser himself has officially opened the University of Bohemia. Academia is beginning to flourish in Austria. Take a look at this. We're getting throughput. And I gotta tell ya, if this guy with this big a head shows up at my university, you bet I'm going to be learning quite a lot better. I am already now transitioning the very first construction sectors into iron. We are lucky in the sense, and you know what, let me go ahead and actually put the tariffs, the import tariffs down to nothing. We are lucky that in the Lombardy, I think we do have a couple. You know what, actually, let me double check this. Do we have trade centers? Yes, we do. Okay. These trade centers autonomously decide what to import from the world market. We are lucky that we have access to the world market right here in Venetian, right? So this is our main port over there. And basically, they are deciding based on our local price, so not the market price, but our local price and the world market price, what to import. And you can tell the import here for dyes, for example, the price on the world market is very low. The local price then is quite high. They make a lot of profit, so they will start importing it. You don't have to worry about any of that anymore. As long as you have access to the world market in this market area, this is done autonomously. At most, you have to upgrade these trade centers, which I might just do, why not, right? But essentially, it takes care of itself if the world market has this good for you at, you know, a profitable rate. Now, you can impact this, and that is something that I will do majorly in this playthrough. So if you don't know how it works and what this all is about, make sure to stick with the video because you will learn about it. For example, right here in Bohemia, we have a lot of rather wealthy people, which is why we want, for example, coffee, tea, and opium. And now, of course, with the very first iron mines in northern Transylvania done, people are flooding in. They are filling these mines, and you can see it right here, right? We are kind of overproducing iron, of course, in this province. That isn't news, but we are doing this, and it has the effect that the price goes down. Now, it does trade, of course, with our own market. Other locations are using the iron produced here, but you know what? Just to be sure, I'm going to put down some trade centers, just in case you want to trade this iron away from northern Transylvania onto the world market. We know the price on the world market is very high. Maybe we can make some money right there as well. And you can see it now right here as well, right? So we have the local price of 26.1, then we have the export price of 40.4. I have a little bit of a tariff on it, don't worry about it, it's not too much money, but anyway, this is how the profit is determined. We have a very low relative advantage, which mostly comes from the fact that there are also opposite trade routes of this good into our market because we need iron in other locations than northern Transylvania, and still, we are actually exporting this at a profit, making sure that these mines can run, even if we can't really finance it, you know, through our domestic consumption. I am also going going to go ahead and build trade centers specifically in, I think, all of these locations. This is where I want trade centers because, well, you're gonna see, I am going to build up a massive, massive industry in these regions. The next step from there, and I don't want to do too many other things here, I think I want some kind of tool production, maybe in Bohemia, and then from there, I'm going to go and pump out an unbelievable amount of logging camps and secondarily, furniture manufactories. And there we go. The actual video game begins now. When you found a company, in the past, you would primarily be looking at what you can produce very, very well. So for example, in Brazil, right, if you take a gander at this right here, you have modifiers such as sugar plantation throughput, or, and I think there are other ones further down there, there it is, the Amazon rainforest. What you can produce determines what you should be building, and it still does. But you want to think a little bit more strategically. What are goods where you can dominate not just your own market, but also the world market? And what kind of effect would that have long term? And let me tell you, for me, there is one very clear choice. So we have two options right here, the Gebrüder Tonet and indeed the Home Good Combine of Austria. I actually think the generic one, right? So this one is pretty good. It also allows you to dip into glassworks, but I'm not that interested in this. We're going to go with the historical version, and we're going to go with the furniture manufactories building throughput plus 10%, which is quite frankly insane. The idea when you get a company now is, can this company go ahead and dominate not just in my region but also elsewhere? Gone are the days where my company modifiers will only apply in my land. Oh, okay, so I don't have the positive modifiers of the Amazon, but I can get them if I get good enough or get aggressive enough with Brazil. So that means we want to focus on the Gebrüder Tonet. They're going to get, of course, a couple of building levels, and then it is time to consider what we want to do with them. Right now we got Eugen Seltsam here, which is an amazing name. It literally means Eugen weird, but okay. Okay, that's funny. We want them to have their productivity up to 100, of course, because 100 will then unlock bentwood furniture. So the way we do this is by making sure that they are turning a profit. First of all, I'm going to give you industry rights to logging camps, which means this company can now own buildings in furniture and logging camps. Second of all, I'm going to say that every last building level in both of these fields is yours. You have a righteous monopoly on these areas. On top of this, if you want to trade always makes a lot of profit, let me just tell you. Why not? You also get to own trade centers. I'm not going to give you, at least not right now, any monopoly on this, that's fine. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and give you investment rights. This stuff, believe you me, is massive, because what it means is that he now gets to own all of the buildings in my territory about this, but it also means that I can go ahead and actually give him these kind of rights, this monopoly, in other territories in the world. Why don't we revisit the deals that we have with the Italians? I will take on investment rights, and you always have to pair it, just to be clear here. The game doesn't tell you this, but if you want monopoly to actually work, you also need investment rights. And then I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, my Italian friend, I want my company to be the sole arbiter for all of these buildings type in your country. Which now means that yes, we guarantee independence, we give trade privileges and so on, but maybe much more importantly, I will now own all of the wood production and all of the trade in your country. You can see right here, they like this treaty, they want to be closer to me, and they want to be invested in, which of course my company will do. They will accept this treaty without a question. Beautiful. The change that you can make here just via treaties, especially in smaller nations where you take over entire sectors, it is massive. If you zero in on sectors that, well, are important to you and that you can dominate the market in, you will very, very quickly upgrade your entire economy in no time whatsoever. You can see it even here right now. The Gebrüder Tonet actually are making a huge profit, already directly heading for 100 prosperity. Right now, they own one furniture manufactories in Abruzzo. Once they own more of that, of course, they're going to start actually having a regional HQ down there, which is huge, but more on that later. They are starting to expand. They are turning a massive profit. Look at them taking over trade centers in Campania. I love life. Let me just negotiate all of these very similar deals with all of these other Italian nations. And look at that. They already have a regional HQ in Campania because they've taken so many assets over down there. You love to see this. What this means is that all of these investments, when they purchase new buildings, when they build new buildings, they are doing this with our investment pool, or rather through our investment pool, Whereas down here, well, they are basically investing with the investment pool of 2 Sicilies. And believe it or not, this is actually massive because there are certain bonuses, right? If we take a look at this right here, you see that there is, for example, the boost. It gets multiplied with the Austrian GDP depending on how big it actually is. And this means small nations can be huge investments because the bonus you get from them actually can be very, very significant in terms of reinvestment. Now, I told you already that we can make friendly deals like we did it, of course, with the Italians. But there are a couple of other deals that we could also be making here that are not nearly as friendly. If we take a look at diplomatic demands, yep, I could demand investment rights into the Ottoman Empire. If I did that, we might have to fight them. Only 17.5 infamy. I don't have too many other wars planned right now, so this should be fine. Britain would probably join them. As long as I can just stay kind of, alive until Britain drops out, we should be golden. Because I can probably get Russia into this anyway. I think we're going to go all in because the international money machine that is the Gebrüder Tonet, well, they need more money. As you can see right here, I can also enforce other treaty articles. And, well, look at that. My god, that is 31 maneuvers. That is so expensive, but that is a company monopoly in a GP right now. That is pretty insane, right? I just need to make sure that I can invite Russia, and then I'm going to push for as many monopolies as I can. I think we're going to go with furniture manufactories. 35 infamy, Jesus. I'll do it, though. Screw it. I'm going for it, buddy. What do you actually need to enforce this? We need to control their capital. Oh, Jesus. We actually need the capital. Okay, good to know. Oh, and the Gebrüder Tonet immediately actually started producing prestige good as I'm declaring this war because they have become 100% productive. If you have a generic company, you have to do a journal entry, wait for 3 years, and then you can do this as well. But this right here is what I'm talking about. We are about to go through the roof. And check this out, they actually split the front right here. The Black Sea is no longer one unified front, which I think is a pretty damn good thing. Man, I would love if I could do even more, but you know what? I think we're okay. This is just, this is gonna be too much infamy. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they got this thing now to show the advance, like how fast are we advancing. We have a Brits right here, it seems, huh? The battle interface also has gained some more insight. Yeah, they just have better units, right, the British. We will win this, despite the shortages and everything, but yeah, it ain't perfect. We are also, of course, being blockaded here in the Venetian World Market Hub. Can I oppose that navy? I don't think so. Okay, I will eat that blockade as it is. And oh my god, the Serbians just got obsessed to opium, and they're immediately leaving for Australia. I like that we're seeing a couple more addictions here. I think that's a good thing. And while we are waging the war, we can get another company. Let me think about this. I didn't have anything in particular in mind here. I do love Austrian metalworks. I like groceries. Groceries are great as well. Oh, the birth rate. You know, that's actually so nice. Food. Oh, I do like this one as well. Man, I like so many of these. I think for the time being, you know what? Let's go with clothing. I'm going to produce clothes and I'm going to produce furniture. Let's give them a couple of monopolies here as well. You know the drill. Classic stuff. They can have silk and cotton plantations. That is fascinating. I need to look into this after the war, what is actually more profitable. And they will have to get rid of some authority used elsewhere. But fundamentally, I think our vector here is clear. We want to focus on either luxury or normal. Let me see here, right? I got a ton that we can produce in the Lombardie, the cotton plantations. I think I'm going to go with normal ones, right? Because that is, if I'm not mistaken, the actual prestige good as well. Like, your prestige good is normal clothes, but designer, I guess, right? Yeah, okay, so we're going to focus on cotton because that is one proper supply chain, which means I will give you cotton plantations and I will give you a monopoly on it. Beautiful. And there, my friends, is the victory. We have taken Constantinople, technically in Russian hands, I guess, but listen, I am only here for the economic exploitation. I do not care about anything else. Let's do this. We won. It is done. Thank you very much. And all of a sudden, again, you will see this, we have an investment right, and I think we see the pact right there. The Vienna Protocol binding for only 5 years, but normally they don't immediately leave. The Gebrüder Tonet have now a furniture manufactory monopoly. Now, on top of that, I should also point out that the Venetia textiles actually have started expanding massively in Campania as well. Campania is, of course, great to run cotton plantations, right? That kind of thing. I'm not actually sure that they're getting any modifiers on this, but nothing wrong with this. Oh yeah, there it is. I guess Terra Rosa is not a bad idea. I have now also. Listen, I don't know about their laws, okay, but they do love cotton in the CSA. If I could get a deal with them, if we could handle something here, okay, where we say maybe I manage to you know, get Venetia Textiles into the business right there, I think it would be absolutely fantastic. Oh, and we just actually opened this up as well, right? You can see it right here. Venetia Textiles prosperity is at 100, which means that since this is a generic company, we open this journal entry designer clothes right there. If we can stay in the top 3, which we currently aren't doing, Austrian production ranking for clothes is in the top 3. That's not happening. Hopefully it is happening somewhat soon, right? Then we get this prestige good, and we will have 2 coming out of our companies. Oh, and it counts for Tunisia as well. Is the Egyptians are still a vassal of the Ottomans? Okay, wait a minute. We might actually get a monopoly and buildings in all of the Ottomans' vassals as well. So you can see this right here. I took over a bunch of trade centers already, or well, my company did it, right? We took over logging camps in Tunisia, that kind of stuff. Oh, we can invest in all of that now. That is insane. Even in, of course, Wallachia, Moldavia, and so on. Okay, what I'm saying is I didn't do all that much in comparison to what could be done. But if we take a gander at the market, you can see right here that, what is this, like 75, maybe 80% of our exports are just furniture. And take a look at this right here. 84% of furniture on the world market is ours. It comes from there. We are the owners right now of the furniture world market altogether. Now, right now, all of this furniture comes out of Austria. I want to expand, of course, towards Brazil. I want to have my company producing bentwood furniture there as well. It doesn't really matter that it isn't me technically doing this, because all I care about is the money that comes in when my furniture, of course, reaps the profits. This domination of the Austrian and the world market when it comes to furniture is absolutely stunning. It's amazing. I am now building up our other company here as well with cotton plantations, some more, you know, clothing plants, that kind of stuff, so that they get their prestige good. But the income that we're going to get from the Gebrüder Tonet in just some minutes, absolutely unhinged. Oh, and we are getting so lucky. We have a leader of the Austrian aristocracy who's a market liberal. You can't do this with corn laws anymore. Apparently, I got very lucky. I won free trade for that trade advantage. That is unhinged. That is so good. Now, let me double check this. We are producing more and more clothes now as I'm going here. Obviously, I want to get rid of the tariffs for exports. I want to make it easier for us to export. There's already somebody doing designer clothes in the Ottoman and the French market. That's very interesting. They might both actually be France. I have to assume that this company is also active. From the Ottoman market, thanks to the Egyptian investment pact that the French have. I get it. Okay, I understand. That is a powerful company here, by the way. Yeah, that is the dye manufacturing stuff. That is really good for them. But okay, doesn't matter. I can compete with you. That's okay. I need a deal with the CSA. Let's make a deal with the slavers. Hell yeah, brother. I will have to offer them a lot. Having a company monopoly over cotton plantations in the CSA. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Am I the good guy here? It certainly doesn't feel that way. I'm going to owe you an obligation. You have a 72% chance to accept this. Guarantee independence looks good to me. It costs us, of course, a lot here in terms of diplomatic power. I'm going to try it like this. Let's see whether they accept. It would be an unbelievable deal. Oh my god. The Declaration of Richmond. We are actual slavers. We are a terrible country, okay? Our Kaiser is a terrible, terrible human being. I just love making money, man. What is morals? Are you kidding? I'm gonna go down in Texas very, very soon because I don't want to rely on that stuff any longer than I have to. Look at that. The first textile mills. We are getting going. You know what? Just to be sure, can I get a similar deal with Brazil here? I'm gonna give you, I swear to God, everything that you want. Okay? I am dead serious. Trade privileges, we're at 137. Give me investment rights. And you have to give me logging camps. I am dead serious. I will owe you an obligation. That is fine. I will produce my furniture in Brazil very cheaply because they have amazing stuff right there. I will bind us much, much longer. I should have done it with the other ones as well. My friend, this will be glorious for the both of us. Oh, what a deal. The agreement between Austria and Brazil. Ooh, my companies are going to dominate up here and down there, which, by the way, might I highlight this? Yeah, we are kind of like evil. I think at this point, it's pretty clear. We are the evil guys here. And look at this, by the way. Jesus, companies too. We already have the company throughput bonus right there. This is just the same thing. And then we get another company once we get to level 3. Now, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, I can't get a monopoly from the Russians. I can tell you that much. That is not happening. But I would like other stuff. Military assistance. Russia grants me military assistance. Let me see. Yes. Why are you so willing to give me this? Oh, they just want me to be better in any fight against my enemies. Against our enemies, I guess. You know what? I appreciate that. That's an amazing deal. Let's take a quick look at the companies that are out there. There we go. Globally speaking, we are the highest profit company, then the Hudson's Bay company, then it's us again, and I guess that's all of our companies. My god, we are doing very, very well. Look at how many buildings level we already have right here. I love investing in other countries. Don't you just love it? Jesus Christ. Let's take a look at the companies actually individually, right? You can see the assets right here, obviously. You see where they have HQs. You can see that we are pretty far already into Louisiana now as well. Look at these statistics. I hate this graph. They clearly need to change like how it is depicted, right? This should be much tighter. We are clearly gaining it. Look at how we're pulling off this building levels owned right there. How are we doing with the Venetia textiles? Oh, yes. Look at that growth rate. I cannot wait until we actually hit this goal right here, right? So that I can get this designer cloth stuff right there as well. We are making bank. And now, of course, equipped with nothing but free trade, I will make so much money off of this. Now, that is beautiful. I need to appease the Catholics here, I think, a little bit at the very least. Yeah, let's do state religion. Oh, and Prussia itself withdrew from the Treaty of the Holy Alliance. Okay, okay. I see where the wind's blowing, buddy. I need you to become my rival. I think it's just that simple. I am now also massively upgrading our trade centers all throughout the country. I want to get them into a really good state before we do the pivot here that I got planned. You can see right here our trade capacity is already fully in use. I can really only hope that sooner rather than later this goes up quite a bit. Luckily, we are now in a position, let's just adjust these, let's adjust this, that's fine. We are in a position where I can change this now. We can go to bulk trading. You can see the traded quantity goes up by 50%, which is of course absolutely massive. Our economy should be doing a lot better after this. Oh, and we hit the goal. Austrian production ranking for clothes is in the top 3. We made it. Let's go. Let's take a look at GDP ownership. I didn't build any of this stuff. None of that stuff. Is there anything else that I really desperately want to pass? I'm actually giving up on national supremacy. That's okay. Ooh, appointed bureaucrats. Yes, thank you. That's amazing. And finally, I cannot declare rivalry with Prussia. Looking at our pacts, right, we're still benefiting from all of these, essentially. Very, very nice. Obviously, the biggest ones that really matter to us with what we are producing are ultimately Brazil, the CSA, and Russia, right? Because we have cotton, we have wood, we have all that good stuff. I would really like it if I could get some export going into the Great Qing with like my own treaty port, that kind of thing. That is always nice. I would also actually like Egypt. You know what? I think we're okay like this. And in this case, I don't even need to give you an obligation. 92% chance. Budapest Declaration, very nice. Oh, and on top of that, we actually unlocked better workshops. You love to see it. I'm going to pump this out. I want to trade. And for that, of course, we need massive production. What is going to be the issue here? Logging camps? Okay, you're going to figure it out, I think. I think the market price will stabilize. The big question for me is, of course, textile. How are you doing? Can we get more to the market? Yes or no? We're at 1,000 now to the market here already. Almost 3,000. Oh, way over 3,000 units going to the world market from our market. I love the economy, man. Alright, folks, and here we now reach the point that I was referring to earlier. This, what is about to follow, is incredibly, incredibly important. It's nonsense, at least it should be. I hope it's gonna work out. Let's pray, okay? The bigger your GDP is, the less does this modifier become. If we were smaller, what we get in reinvestments from our companies, so our Gebrüder Tonet and then Venetia Textiles, what we get out of them is actually worth more, right? You can see this right here. The reinvestment would shoot up just because it gets multiplied. Now, I purposely built a lot of our industry in Hungary. Is this the wise thing to do? Honestly, I'm not sure. Is this going to lead to a downfall because Hungary will become independent and be too big? I have no idea. What I can tell you, though, is I am the HRE. I am going to rule as decentralized as I can over my dearest subjects. Let's figure out what making Hungary into a vassal will do to us. Now, do keep in mind, our companies can still invest in here, and quite frankly, they do own all of this stuff, so that's fine. Let's take a look at GDP ownership right now, right? Yeah, look at that. This is what we built up. We have over 60% of that economy right there. You love to see it. Yeah, and look at that. They immediately set up a regional HQ. You really got to keep in mind that them having a smaller GDP also means that they have a higher modifier right there, which means I get a higher modifier from everything that flows upwards, and they get one for their regional HQ there as well. This means we can expand ever faster. And yoink, there is one more company. What are we going to do about this one? I feel like going for tools, but we are so consumer oriented. Who would I be if I didn't go for food? Right? I mean, somebody has to do it, and I suppose in this case, it's gonna be me. And there you go. designer clothes has been done as well. The only thing now remaining, and I think it's going to take us some time, but if we do also get gourmet groceries, well, we are dominating the entire world with regards to this. Let's take another look at our company. I'm making a lot of money, buddy. We're making a lot of money. And he's creeping up. Look at Austrian Foods Inc. I haven't even given the monopolies or anything like this. Obviously, that is the plan going forward. But yeah, these two right here, they are making big money. Folks, we have cracked 100,000 company profit in this playthrough with both of our major companies, actually. Oh... Ooh, okay, I am looking forward to taxing them, I gotta tell you that much. This is gonna be paradise on earth. Nobody will work in Austria proper. Look at them build. You love to see it. I might have to split something off sooner rather than later just because my modifier is dropping. I could probably get rid of Bohemia. It's a weird one, okay? Don't get me wrong here. Okay, you know what? I actually need to test this out. What happens if I release a country that has technically territory that like would belong to my company? Oh, and your company HQ moved, I guess. Okay, that's perfect. We dropped a lot of GDP right there. You can see the modifier is now back up to 2.32. That's what I'm talking about. I'm happy about this. It just means that I need to construct more construction sectors, I guess, at home. Let's pump them up. So the reason, by the way, and we probably could have gotten better deals, that I didn't go with investment pacts that would let people invest into me was very, very simply put, that I didn't want anything that drives up my GDP, right? The more I can shed, the more I can get rid of, the better will my modifiers be, and the better will this really be for my company at the end of the day, or, well, for my country, I should say. Because these are massive, massive numbers that you don't normally hit if you have a relatively small country. We're running a bit of a weird play here. I like it. I hope so do you. And oh boy, a bunch of people are leaving my system. I didn't really take care of them. I will be honest with you. I think that's okay. I don't really care about this. The power block is the least of my concerns right now. I just wanted the company bonuses, and that is literally it. Everything else is nice, but a bonus. Now let's recheck the Austrian market. You can see right here we're producing 3,860 furniture that goes onto the market. We're producing more than that, of course. You can see it right here. Look at... Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah? We're producing a lot of this stuff, but that is what goes onto the market. Now, we are only number 10 producer worldwide. Hungary is leading. I built it up primarily there. That is what their economy effectively is. And yeah, that is pretty much it. We're dominating it. You can see with bentwood furniture, we are way out producing, putting it onto the world market at great odds because we have, of course, free trade. You know how it is, making it so that we are fully dominating. I would actually like to get a bit of an overview here when it comes to the trade advantages. Now, what is interesting to note is that all bentwood furniture actually comes from us, despite the fact that our industry is, of course, active elsewhere. I guess those markets just do not produce it at, you know, such a high level that they could export it. We are pushing single-handedly this world market price down to plus 0%. That is absolutely massive. If we take a gander at clothes right here, we're currently number 3. We're mostly producing in the Lombardie. Great Britain, actually, Jesus, really taking shape there. I might just shed Lombardy, man. I might just do it. I'm just afraid that they might get annexed by like some Italian state. Let's hope that they don't. There is 3.95 million GDP down there, so it would probably be worth it, honestly. Let me actually take in, by the way, what do I want to do to further our trade? Oh, you're full. I might just want to have more trade capacity everywhere, quite frankly. Let's pump up them numbers in all of our coastal regions. Then, of course, we're producing right there. Let me place down a whole bunch of interest because that will make trade easier. You know what? Let me double check this right here. Trade center, tell me about your trades for this. Oh, okay, so we are at plus 2% relative advantage. You can see how that is impacted. Our market area is pretty good. We produce most of the prestige good in this market area, giving us a huge bonus right here, of course. We lack interest in relevant markets, so we are mostly looking at Haitian. Okay, that's kind of odd, but okay. Trade capacity is big. Of course, we can pump this up, so we're going to put down more trade centers there. It's just that the price actually is pretty balanced at this point, right? And there we go. Our third company has now also reached prosperity. Obviously, it is growing much slower because I didn't gear up any country to give them monopolies. But you can see gourmet groceries is indeed growing. Soon we're going to be producing it. Bro, I gotta tell you, the freer the market, the freer the people. It's true. This is a fact. Folks, I think it is time. Proportional taxation, my friends, is upon us. The state of Austria is run by its corporations. God bless America, I mean Austria. Let's get this done. I'm going to push this through. And with this new economy, you can see I've pushed myself to the brink. I should be able to take action as the hegemon of all of Germany. Let's go! There it is! Oh, we are making big money now, folks. We are making big... I am thriving, my friends. My companies are dominating the global economy. Look at this man. He has regional HQs in Campania, Thracia, in Tunisia, in Blue Nile, Louisiana, Rio de Janeiro, Moscow, East Slovakia, Uzima, Riga, everywhere, okay? Oh, and I see now one of the big drawbacks for sure. First of all, I need to upgrade the infrastructure here, but I didn't even think about this. But obviously the prestige good actually made us a better money. It pushed us... Oh, actually, you know what? I take it back. Jesus. Look at this stuff. Jesus, okay. I was about to complain that Hungary changed a ton of the production that I gave them. Well, I mean, you can guess it, right? They changed it to luxury furniture and luxury clothes, which are not the prestige goods. But just given the numbers, I think we're doing pretty okay, right? These are some great numbers. Our tax income, of course, is looking amazing. I have now been upgrading our... Yep, there you go. Our battalions quite significantly, and I have made a decision. We're gonna go for Prussia, sooner rather than later, but there's a treaty port that I would like to secure first. My friends, 1876. The Grand Austrian Navy is now getting on its way. We don't yet have ironclads. I'm gonna do this after this war, I think. I will be visiting the Great Qing. Let me double check. No, okay, I got everything that I need. I think I would love Shanghai. I think that's a great treaty port, although technically you actually collect Nantong, but that's okay. Let's go ahead. Let's claim that. Let's make sure that they know what they're dealing with. The decentralized, very good Metternich system is going on its way. I hope nobody's gonna intervene. None of these look too serious. I'm very surprised that nobody else actually wants anything from the Great Qing. I love that treaty port. I really desperately want it, obviously. Yeah, nobody else. Okay, fair enough. I might request, I guess, like reparations, maybe? How much money would that be? Oh my god, look at the scale of that thing. Okay, that's bankruptcy, come on. That's a funny scale. I'm gonna secure this one, and I don't think I need anything else. We could do investment rights, and you know what? Let's do it. Let's get those investment rights. I think for that, again, we do need to have the Beijing proper, right? So we have to invade there. We can surely do this. Right, so how does this work? Plan an invasion, obviously in Beijing. There you go, boom. Let's see whether that pans out. I have no idea what the balancing in the military sphere of things looks like now. We see a couple of naval battles here. That shouldn't be an issue. I think we're just gonna hammer them away. It's an intense battle, I can tell you that much. But it looks now as though, yep, controlled retreat, we won this one. I think we're taking Beijing. I would be surprised if we did not take it. Oh, look at them. Our Austrian flags are being put up over Beijing. They shouldn't have, I don't know, kept trade barriers in place for my furniture and my clothes. This is what you get, buddy. Jesus, I hope that I don't lose too many people here, though. How many did we lose? Oh, no, that's a lot of death. My problem is that I don't have that high of a population, right? I always need to hope that I can actually fill my barracks, especially for the German war. But I mean, at the very least, this makes it so that I'm going to be getting investment rights and the treaty port. That's a big one. And additionally, I'm a free country. The freer the people, the freer the market, the freer is everything. You know the drill. Now, I am going to, I think, select all of you and just set you to defense. The idea being, if I set you to defense, we should have a much easier time not losing as many people. We already hold everything we need to hold. It's just a question of time right now. Especially now with the full blockade level, we are looking at 100% blockade, meaning throughput is worse, world market access goes down to 75%. You, my friend, are cooked. How's your economy doing? You know what? I am interested. Obviously, you can't be importing and exporting that much. Yeah, okay, it doesn't hurt you that much. I understand, right? Oh, I am hurting your standard of living. I can tell you that much. Yeah, we are going to go ahead, claim our treaty port. The Great Qing is done, and not just on Twitch, my friends. And there we go. It is done. I have gained what needed to be gained, and now, if I'm not mistaken, so obviously we have this pact now, they might cancel. I hate that war-enforced pacts only 4 years. This clearly should be 99, but okay, not my business. Way more importantly, first of all, yep, that is fine. I need trade centers. This is how this works now. You want to build a ton of trade centers, because that is the way to import. We have a lot of people possibly working here, so I think as soon as we ramp this up, I'm going to see a lot of trade with the Great Qing against their will, but hey, it is what it is. How you doing, buddy? What are you doing, buddy? We're importing luxury furniture, so when it says importing, it actually means it pulls this out of a different market, right? Oh my god, what is this trade advantage? Okay. The way this works is that this is part of the Great Qing's market, which means that this is from the perspective of that market. We have a trade advantage of 1,077%. From treaty port, I see. That is crazy. That is sick. Then free trade gives us a huge bonus as well. Look at the import price and the local price. This is a huge benefit. My god, that is disgusting. Okay, opium addiction. The Serbian people in Austria, well, you know, you can just go to Shanghai. I think you'll do fine. Oh, and no way. Immediately after us, the Great Britain finally came in against the Great Qing and actually claimed the treaty port as well. Are you building in the Great Qing? Let me just ask you, are you guys building in the Great Qing yet? Oh, you are! Railways? Jesus, you sickos. Stop making them better. We're about to make them worse. That's the whole point. Look at this. We're taking oil. We're taking... My god, this is so profitable. Jesus Christ. Look at this trade center. This is actually sick. Oh my god. Look at the weekly balance of this thing. Unhinged. Actually crazy. What is happening here? It's everything. I am bringing everything into the country. Where are my goods? We got luxury furniture, I guess. Are they not importing chairs? Is nobody interested in acquiring chairs? That's not good for my company profits. I think I'm bringing up the profits of other companies here. Jesus, come on. Austrian investors have made acquisitions in textile mills. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, look at them go. Oh, look at the balance. You sickos. You need to keep investing in this. Are you nuts? I love China. 250,000 people are working in Austria, just administering buildings all over the world. Whether those buildings are real or not, I couldn't say. But I can say that that doesn't really matter, because the money is flowing. Oh, and they totally did buy all of the trade centers here in Nantong. This company is going crazy. That is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And now we're running out of like people that can work in here. Yeah, okay, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Bro, are you kidding? This Austrian Empire, I'm gonna shed. Okay, I'm gonna shed Lombardy. Screw it. We're getting rid of Lombardy. You can be independent. I do not care. I wish I could get rid of more, but I don't want to get rid of any coastline. I need it so desperately. Lombardy. Yeah, you're a subject now. Good luck. Oh, we just shed so much. Look at that. We're back to 1.89 in modifier. Oh, I wish I could go even higher, but that is nice. Look at the reinvestment. That is sickening. And there it is. Trench infantry. Oi, oi, oi. My friends... The Prussians are cooked. Let's take a look at this. Look at this. We own so much in Russia. Actually unbelievable. Same here for Egypt. Oh, it's British Sinai. Interesting. So they did claim that. Brazil is thriving. I think we largely actually abandoned investing in the CSA. I guess that slavery doesn't pay. Who could have known that it isn't the most profitable thing that you could do, when instead you could be investing in China. Look at these numbers. Actually unhinged nonsense. We are fully maxed out. We need more people working here. Speaking of markets, let's just take a look at this. Our market hasn't really developed all that much. I will be honest with you, our initial strategy was, of course, bringing up this kind of stuff, right? Exporting the chairs and so on, and we are still very much doing this. 94% here of what is traded on the world market comes directly from us, but that's not really the point of these companies anymore. The point of these companies is buying up the economy of everybody else. This is when we conquered China. It tells you everything you need to know, right? The Gebrüder Tonet here, taking over everything with regards to trade centers, very clearly benefiting the most out of our more recent moves. Yeah, take a look at this. Just insane how much we changed in, well, me just taking over China. Maybe I should take over a little bit of Japan as well, right? Now that I think about it, I definitely should. But honestly, first, I must bring justice to Germany. Let's kick out the Prussians from being a contender here. I will go ahead against this. I think we will be fine despite their numbers. We just need to outlast them. Let's see here. Our defenses aren't really that great, despite us, of course, now being... Are we, like, suffering from anything? So we're having a naval invasion? Oh, okay, I can just defend against this. That's okay. I could technically do one for them as well, but no, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to... intercept this, obviously. That's fine. Currently, I'm just on defense. I deactivated anybody else using my armies on attack. My problem really is actually maintaining how many people we have in our armies here, just because I don't have that many people, you know, just sitting around in general. But I think we will be fine. You stand no chance, Prussia. It's over for you. And I should have demanded more, probably. But you know what? Actually, German leadership is totally fine. It is done, my friends. I sadly forgot to actually take, like, the Rhineland out. That's normally what you do, like, take Pomerania and the Rhineland out of the Prussian sphere. Rather, you make them independent vassals. Yeah, that didn't work. I'm gonna come back to this, okay? I only really wanted to knock down Prussia. That is what this was all about. Now, I am actually going to go ahead and support this anarchist rebellion in Holstein, just because it removes Holstein, of course, from Denmark. Interestingly enough, since so much of my population has died... Okay, this is going to be a weird sentence, I can already feel it. Since so much of my population has died in the war, I am now looking at a situation where I can't fill all of my work slots, meaning my GDP is worse and we get more reinvestments. So that's good. I have become the South German Federation, I suppose. Okay, we look kinda cute. Let me obviously immediately release Bavaria. Oh my god. My actual treaty port is accelerating the Great Qing by a great degree. This is actually also so funny. Look at this. This is the spike that we got from Bavaria. We basically doubled our GDP because I got rid of so much GDP all around us. Look at this. Look at Styria and Tyrol. There's nobody working here. They're all underemployed. They all died. The rest that didn't die is in the army. We have become the Imperial Core. I think that is something that we can already assert here. Time for Germany. I will annex all of these miners except Prussia, and it will look absolutely hideous, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, and of course I actually annexed Bavaria immediately. Can I just release you again, bro? No, okay. I have to live with this for just this war. Afterwards I can just give them up. Oh, and I didn't even see this. We annexed Hanover, like, instantly. That's okay, let's push into Saxony. They are the main enemy. Yeah, I mean, say what you will, but the way it works now is so much more comfortable in terms of, you just know what's gonna happen, right? The front line is gonna spin out on you. I got my reservations still about military access, but it works much better. Look at how much economy each of these states had. And how little I had, because I didn't let anyone invest in my territory. That is very, very funny. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna pick up one of you folks, and we're gonna send you over. How about you just invade, I don't know, Mecklenburg, right? What's the harm? Ooh, and we technically have one more company. I guess it honestly might just be time for Austrian Metalworks. Yeah, let's do Austrian Metalworks, and I might give them a monopoly just so they can annex everything inside of Germany proper before I release our vassals there, right? Yeah, let's give them a monopoly right there. Giving people these monopolies now that we've conquered all this territory is actually massive, because it means they can instantly take everything over. Let's give you steel, why not? Oh my god, and the Russians are also starting to nationalize my land. They actually kicked me out with my pact. Man, I love that the AI is utilizing this, but it means that I really do need to maintain relations here. I guess their attitude changed, right? The fact that they're nationalizing is crazy. I guess that if you have a contract like that one both ways, they will be much less likely to actually break it because they have their own investments. I didn't give anybody investments, so yeah, they don't exactly love it, huh? Okay, and I have cleaned up everything as much as I can. I cannot annex Anhalt. It's impossible, because Prussia is in the way. I will have to take out Prussia first. Hello Prussia, my friend. I would like, actually, you do it by right-clicking. I would like to liberate a country. Wait, what the hell happened here? My investment pool is actually empty? How did that happen? Oh, I think they just keep privatizing. So, like, they're not building anything. They just they instantly add something to their queue. I get it, okay. We are looking now at 25% occupation in Berlin. I think we're gonna win this, like, extremely quickly. Unlucky, buddy. Sadly, all of my troops are gone. Like, everybody that I've ever owned or loved is dead. But at least I'll dismantle Prussia. I do think they had it coming. I think my actual admin deficiency comes from the fact that I have nobody to put into admin buildings anymore. Oh no, they're always full. Are they the first ones that get filled? That makes a lot of sense, but who knows? Now, taking another look at our market, right, we've clearly diversified a lot. I suppose, thanks to us adding all of these Germans into our market, we actually stopped exporting so much, right? Because they now have a much, much larger, richer consumer base that previously wasn't really accessible to us. That's a huge difference, both for us, but I think also actually for the world market. Yeah, let's take a look at the world market itself, right? How are you doing? Yeah, this number went down drastically, simultaneously. Man, this just means that our actual trade centers, right, they are kind of going down in importance, and I assume that that has to do with the Gebrüder Tonet making a lot less money. Yeah, this number is just not increasing, despite, of course, our actual production here increasing massively. The reality just really comes down to this. We now have an actual consumption market, but you don't need that if you want to succeed. That is, I think, ultimately the lesson of this playthrough, right? Because we have been nailing this. Oh, and do you think we're actually full in terms of, like, what can be traded in Nantong? Who knows? Anyway, what I'm saying is that this entire thing is really proof of the concept that, well, what we are doing, it works, but once you have a market, you don't need to trade all that much. Autarky once more can dominate. And here we come now to the classic strategy, of course, except now it is even more impactful. We are going to make a big deal with the Prussians so that they like us, and long-term, of course, develop into a path where they will just literally vote for us. The one opposition that I still want is Anhalt, so that I have a unification play to launch where everybody joins me without me needing to press the Germany button, right? Ah, I'm gonna launch the unification play and it's gonna be so nice. Why aren't you voting for me? What is your problem, Rhineland? Doesn't matter to me. Launch unification play. Rhineland, these nerds, who cares? Press that button. We be pressing those buttons, let me tell ya. Ugly. Truly horrendous. It's terrible. But it is us. Ah, it's gotta be worth something, right? This is how it goes, and I gotta be honest with you, this is way more involved than it has ever been in the past. I mean, take a look at this, right? GDP ownership. Look at that. Yeah. We have taken over the world. They've cancelled most of the deals, but we still have ownership because, well, they would have to take it all over against their wills with quite a bit of effort there, I guess. We're first unifying Germany, by which I mean decentralizing it, under our leadership, and then it is time for the HRE proper. Baby, we will be back. This GDP is crazy as well, because, like, look at where I want to be so that I get the investment boost. That's really what we're doing here, right? Keep that in mind. We are blobbing like it is 1871, but you know what? I think we're coming out a little bit richer. So the war's over. I have, technically speaking, unified Germany, although I don't really want it this way, right? I could press this button right now. I'm not gonna be doing that. We're working towards Central Europe. What can I say about it? Which means I'm gonna go ahead and now, in the smallest iterations possible, will release all of the Germans that possibly can exist. And so we now are only this, but everything we own is everything. Which means we are now very, very close to unifying Central Europe. I need 2 more states. Shouldn't be that big of an issue, eh? Now, is this going to be a challenge? No. I don't really have anything else to say. Oh my god, my friends. It is done. It is finally facilitated. Now, you might say, shouldn't you conquer the Benelux states as well? Shouldn't? No. The answer is no, because I am superior, okay? You don't make the decisions on this channel, I make the decisions. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and press this button and we're all gonna be so goddamn happy, okay? Check this out. A glorious union, my friends. We skipped Germany. Who the hell needed Germany? God, this color is, My friends, the Holy Roman Empire has risen. We're number 1 in GDP. I have built everything up. I own everything, of course. And now I'm gonna do what needs to be done. You know the drill. I love doing this. Alright, now so I am looking at this, and the question now that is on my mind is, should I even hold this territory? We are at 50 million GDP, which makes it so that we have a one-time multiplier, so this is the worst possible result that we could be getting here at this size. Anything worse even than that would require much, much higher GDP. Where's my GDP? 35 million? Let me double check this. We're back up to 1.56. If I give you Slovenia, and you know what, let me actually separate this. Let me do Trieste and then Slovenia separately. What are we looking at? 33 million? Which means 1.66 million. It's so hard. I cannot. I have so much GDP, I guess, right here. 24 million just in Austria. Jesus. The Holy Roman Empire is now truly just Austria, and we live in the mountains, while everybody else around us gets to be, I don't know, their very own private overlord. If it helps them, you know. I guess we just keep expanding, like, really drastically, right? We're at 428,000 company profit here now. Over 1 million just in company profit. If we take a look at this, yes, we are very clearly leading. The Holy Roman Empire, my friends, has risen, and it is far superior to everybody else. Our industry is fully producing internally now, meaning, yeah, you can see this here as well, we are exporting so little in the actual furniture production that we have, because the Germans now buy so much. I love the Holy Roman Empire. I hope so do you. This is the perfect Holy Roman Empire. It should have happened historically, if you ask me. World War I and World War II averted forever. My friends, this is how you play an incredibly decentralized Holy Roman Empire with massive, massive company profit. Take a look at this. We have gained everything. I also like the Holy Roman Empire Foods Inc. Wouldn't you buy food from them? I know I would. I gotta tell you, I think the Gebrüder Tornert here were a great choice. We really created an international company. Look at their regional HQs. It is utterly, utterly insane. Where are we getting the most from? From Sicily, actually. Wow. That is very impressive. Actually, this isn't sorted now that I look at it. So Moscow gives us a lot as well. Oh, Western Guangdong gives us a ton. Yeah, China is the place to be, I guess. I can't really say anything, but I think I'm happy. I hope so are you. Make sure that you check out the game. Again, there is a free weekend going on. I'm gonna leave you right here with this revamped, absolutely gorgeous Holy Roman Empire. Look at this guy. Isn't this just beautiful? Folks, I'm gonna leave you right here. I'll see you later. Alligator.